It is life or death. You can be a hero every day, or you can help steal her breath and watch our world turn gray. Listen to my story closely, and you will surely see that if you choose not to speak, you will kill them silently. He had been drinking a lot when he crashed into her at 100 miles per hour. She was wearing a beautiful black dress laced in flowers, and lights flashed as the ambulance flew down the street. EMS checked her vital signs, but they heard no breath and felt no beat. A crowd began to form, and I could hear them whisper.
It's dark. Why was she wearing all black? Why was she out?
A man ran in. Apparently they were supposed to have a date. He began to shout,
She should have Ubered. Why was she late? She's always cheap, and look what it got her. This is breaking my heart. She just didn't jaywalk, she wouldn't have been hit by a car.
The driver stumbled out of his door.
Help!
He screamed. He was crying. He was bloody, but nothing serious, it seemed. I could hear the crowd start to mumble again.
Alcoholism is a disease. He made a really big mistake tonight. And I know him. He's a great guy with a bright future. I really hope this doesn't ruin his life.
EMS started cleaning him up, stitching the side of his head. I just sat in the passenger seat, silent, dazed, and staring ahead. How could this happen? I couldn't imagine my friend doing this. Honestly, this whole scene, it was completely ludicrous. I didn't believe him when he said he was sober, but I got in anyway. Then, at 20 miles an hour, when the car swerved out of its lane, I told myself it was just a pothole and that everything's okay. At 30, he blew through a red light, but no one was around and it was late at night, so I thought everything was all right. At 50, he was texting, and I told him, yo, this isn't the best thing, but he said,
Dude, relax. I'm just kidding.
At 65, I was sweating, but I told myself, stop being uptight. He's a good driver. There's no use stressing. At 80, I begged him to slow down, but he heard Luda and turned up the music. I knew things were getting bad, but I just tried to stay calm and not lose it. At 90, he sang,
Move, bitch! Get out the way!
At 100, I yelled, yo, there's a girl!
Crash!
As the ringing in my ears started to fade, I began to wonder. Maybe if I tried harder, I could have gotten him to pull over to the side of the street, or I could have even called the police. Before all this, I could have tried to take away the keys. We could have stayed longer. We didn't have to leave. If I said something then, maybe she wouldn't be strewn on the street. An officer walked over, and he said,
I need your statement for the record.
I tried to talk, but I couldn't work my vocal cords. So he said,
Son, I'm going to need you to speak.
I looked over at her, body covered in sheets, and all I could say was I murdered her from the passenger seat. You're still not getting it. This story, it sounded a little off, didn't it? Well, let me tell it again, because honestly, they aren't that different. He had been drinking a lot. They found him on top of her, out back behind the parking lot. She was unconscious. She was wearing a beautiful black dress laced in flowers, and lights flashed as the ambulance flew down the street. But the first thing EMS did was check her BAC. A crowd began to form, and I could hear them whisper.
Did you see what she was wearing? Ugh.
You should not have been drinking.
A boy ran in, and he began to shout.
She cheated on me? Why? I always hate when she goes out. She's a slut. I knew it from the start. I loved her. Now she's breaking my heart.
I could hear the crowd start to mumble again.
They were only gone about 20 minutes.
She was drinking. She probably wanted to.
I know him. He's a nice guy with a bright future. I hope this doesn't ruin his life.
I looked over at him as he got in the back of the police car, screaming and crying.
I swear, I'm innocent!
I wish I could believe that he wouldn't go this far, but he crossed the line a lot, and I let it slide anyway. I remember he would message her all day. She said it made her a little uncomfortable, but I thought it was okay. Maybe he's just not the most sociable. Besides, nobody got hurt. Then it got worse. You see, at the parties, he would just grab girls to dance. I remember saying, yo, bro, you can't. But he said,
They don't want you to ask.
then it got worse. Because at the park, she walked by with her and her friends. With her hair down, yo, it was magnificent, heaven sent. But he said,
Damn, the things I would do to you, baby.
so she said,
Are you crazy?
but he smiled and laughed and said,
Relax, I'm just playing.
she was angry, but she was scared, like she was about to cry. And the weird part was, I felt like she was looking in my eyes. Then, it got worse. Because last night, while we were playing 2K, I heard him say,
Boys, I'm gonna loosen her up. Get her drunk, you know?
yo, fuck him, we're done. We can't be friends, no doubt. But I didn't leave, and I didn't say anything. And now, it's ripping my heart out. Because tonight, at the party, he kept refilling her cup. And I said, yo, I think she's had enough. But he got mad. I heard her say, I want to go home. So I went to the kitchen, yo, just for a second to grab her coat. But when I got back, they were gone. I felt sick to my core. I searched that whole house like a lost kid looks for their mom in the grocery store. I found her friends. I was drunk and my words were slurred, but they got the message. He might hurt her. I asked them to look out back, and they found him on top of her. Now, I stand in the crowd of students. I should have known that he would do this. I looked over at her, curled up, wrapped in a sheet. And maybe I didn't do it, but kind of like that kid in the passenger seat, the cops might as well arrest me. Speak up.
It happens in your basements.
Speak up.
Those rush texts are clear statements.
Speak up.
You'll never know how many lives your voice saves.
Speak up.
You'll never know how many lives your silence takes.
Speak
up.
up.